Just setting up stuff here, and got a wired connection, so hoping it's going to be good. There's a little bit of a storm going, and so the lights have been flickering, so hopefully we don't lose connection in the middle. But today I'm going to be making some fried rice, and I'm also going to be making some cookies. We're going to start with those first and get them in the oven. So I guess let's get started. I'm gonna get out my big mixing bowl. And for the cookies, we're gonna need flour, sugar, baking powder, butter, and it says it wants a preheat to 375. And I find sometimes that kind of letting the butter sit on the oven while it preheats helps to kind of soften it up. You can mix it better, because there's a little bit of residual heat that kind of comes out of my oven. I use whole wheat flour. It has a lower glycemic index, and whole wheat flour is usually best stored in the freezer because it goes rancid much more quickly than regular flour. We got that. I find that the white whole wheat works really well in cookies and stuff. It doesn't have as harsh or nutty a taste. And we're also gonna need sugar. I'm gonna be using some brown sugar Splenda blend, again, because I try to keep low glycemic index. And baking powder. Said baking powder, right? Baking powder and baking soda. There is a difference. It's very important. But yeah. We're not going to add any salt because we're having salted butter. So the first step is to mix together the flour, sugar, and baking powder. So we are going to do 1 cup of flour. Let me get my measuring cups out. Actually use a measuring scoop. Measuring scoops are really nice for when you're dealing with large amounts. I'll actually probably use the 1/2 cup measure and just do 2 of them, just because it's easier to get in the bag. This is the 1/2 cup. This bag did not open nicely when I opened it. It got kind of torn. I always want to use a Ziploc bag or other airtight after you open a flour, especially a whole wheat flour, because like I said, it'll go rancid. So you want to limit its exposure to oxygen, and then ideally also keep it cold. that's a full cup of flour. And we'll just roll this back up and put it back in the freezer. Yeah, normally the shelf life of whole wheat flour like this is just like 3 months, but if you keep it in the freezer, it's like a year. So it's a lot better that way. There. Has like a slot in the back. I have to kind of push it in there. Okay. Hi, Pyro. Fried rice. You just said pineapple fried rice yesterday for dinner. That sounds really good. Yep, food and drink stream. For now, I'm making the cookies first to get those in the oven. So we've just got the flour. Now it wants a half a cup of sugar, but because we're using the brown sugar Splenda blend, it'll be a little bit less. I keep chocolate chips in the same bag because I'm weird, and it saves on a bag. So it has a conversion chart because Splenda is sweeter than sugar, so you use less. So, oh God, I wish it was in black and not gray. I have to bend down to look at it every time. Half a cup of sugar is a quarter cup of Splenda brown sugar blend. So we will get the quarter cup measure. Oh, come on. There we go. And that's a quarter cup. Perfect. And again, I like to keep it in a Ziploc just to keep it fresh. Sugar particularly can like take on the flavors of other things pretty easily. Mine actually tastes a little bit chocolatey because I have some chocolate in here, but I don't mind that. So softening up a little bit. And then baking powder. It wants 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. That's very specific. 3/4 of a teaspoon. That's 1/4. Oh, so I can just use this 3 times. The thing that I like about these is they have the cup measure on this end, but then they also have like teaspoon measures on this end. So you only have to wash like one thing. Okay. One. Let me get that out of the way. 2. 3. Okay, that's it for the baking powder. Put that away. And now it wants this to be mixed. So I'm gonna get out my wooden spoon. I have some bamboo stuff. It's really nice. The only thing about bamboo is that you can't leave it wet because it'll warp. But other than that, it's like really strong and it's very renewable too, which is nice. So it's like, you know, green or whatever. Just kind of chopping up the sugar and then we're just going to mix it together. Try to get everything evenly distributed. You could also use a whisk for this to be like more precise with it, but I know I'm going to use this later when I put the butter in, so. Can you guys hear me okay when I'm talking? I'm trying to make sure that I'm projecting because the camera's like over there. Alright, so you can see it's pretty evenly distributed. You can't really see the sugar anymore or the baking powder that was white. You just kind of see the flour. It's because everything's sort of mixed together. I believe the next thing is the butter. Yes. So next thing is the butter. It's been softening up a little bit. It's still a little cold. You don't want it to be like super warm, but it's a little bit softer now, so it should mix together pretty well. Yeah, because you don't want it to be like melted butter, but it's a little bit easier to mix. And it wanted a 1/4 cup, which is this much. So I really like the Land O'Lakes half stick, because then you're not left with like a half-used stick that's just kind of sitting in your fridge. Okay, so we're gonna chop this up. Oh. HQ is giving me an extra life, which is super random because it's like 4:45 and there's no game like anywhere near soon. But okay. I actually won HQ last night. I was super pumped. I got almost all the questions right. I had a free pass at like question 5, and then I used an extra life on question 11, and then got question 12 right. So I won HQ, and I won like 20 cents. It was great. Someday I'm going to win enough to actually be able to take it out. You have to win $10 before you can take it out, and I'm at like $9 or something. I'm pretty close. I've won HQ like I think 5 times now, something like that. Pretty close. So I'm just chopping the butter up into smaller and smaller pieces. Hey, you're back.
Power is out on the campus.
Oh no. Does that mean that you can't do your math thing?
Oh, right.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'll talk to her about it tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, that's outside of your control. The lights have been flickering here, but they seem to have stabilized, so yeah, we didn't like quite lose power all the way.
Okay.
I think the campus has a separate grid than the rest of the stuff. Chop smaller. I'm making my my low sugar cookies.
Yes. That is what I like to hear. They're really good.
Yeah. Do you want some fried rice too?
No, I'll pass.
Okay. Hi, Demolition. How are you doing? So there's still like little bits of butter in here, so I'm trying to get them real small. It wants it to be crumbly. Good, I'm glad you're doing okay. And sometimes when they start getting really small, wash my hands before this, you actually go in and get the little butter thing and just like smoosh it. 1, it feels awesome. 2, it helps to break it up. And the heat of your hand also helps to break it up in addition to the mushing motion. It's a good day. It's pretty like gross outside. It's like windy and rainy and stuff. So it's nice to like kind of be inside and, you know, just bake and cook and all that nice stuff. Okay, mix this a little bit more. Fyro is going to be lurking. You were already hungry when you got here and you need to figure out dinner. That's important. Definitely figure out dinner. Thank you for the lurking. No need to be super active. That's fine. I know a lot of times when I watch people's streams, I'm like a serial lurker. I feel like I never have much of like value to say. But yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, break up, you butter. Break up. Okay, and then once this butter is fully incorporated, we're getting there, then we're going to add some liquid, and that'll make it more of a dough. We're going to add an egg, some vanilla, and some water, I think. The recipe went dark, so I'll have to get that in a second. You guys having anything good for dinner tonight? I know it might be a little bit early for some of you depending on what coast you're on. I had some leftover rice and I was like, fried rice. Makes sense. Okay, I think that's pretty well incorporated. It's feeling a lot more crumbly now instead of just powdery. Yeah. Okay. So now we put in our liquids. Add egg, vanilla, and water. So 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. This person is speaking my language. And 1 tablespoon of water. Okay. Do I have, this is tablespoon measure, right? Or is this teaspoon? That's teaspoon. So let me grab a tablespoon measure. I'll do this one. Okay. We'll do the water first. Okay, and then we're gonna do vanilla. A little bit of flour on my hands, but that never hurt anybody. Okay. And I'm gonna mix that around a little bit. Oh, I can smell that vanilla. Oh, that's heavenly. So you see the brown's the vanilla, so you want to mix that in real good. And then the egg is going to make it real wet. And after that, I probably won't be sticking my hands in this anymore. Raw egg is a little bit more dangerous. believe it just wanted 1 egg. Yes. Okay. Close this one down. Going to crack the egg on the side of the bowl. Hold it, make sure we don't have any shell go in there. I think we did that pretty well. Get that nice little big drips. And we can toss the rest. Wash your hands off real quick. Put the eggs back in the fridge. Definitely did not just knock something over in the fridge. That didn't happen. Nobody saw that. Okay, you have to kind of scramble it in the thing. Like you have to beat up the yolk to make sure, again, that it gets evenly distributed. I don't know if you could see. But yeah, we'll mix that all together. And this recipe is a liar because this is nowhere near wet enough. So I think we might add some milk to this. Yeah, I could use like another tablespoon or maybe even 2. People forget how thirsty whole wheat flour is. It's really thirsty. I swear, it absorbs liquid a heck of a lot better than regular flour. See, the parts that are stuck to the spoon are like decent, but I need the whole dough to be like that. Yeah, because I'm not going to be able to form this into balls. It needs a little bit more. Like, I think maybe just another tablespoon. So if you take a look at this, you're not going to be able to ball that together and make cookies. The internet is like full of recipes that lie. So you kind of have to use your experience to know like when you might need to adjust something. And it's especially kind of precarious with baking because, you know, baking is cooking is an art, baking is a science. A lot can go wrong in baking, but this, I'm not going to be able to make balls out of this, so I think I'll add some milk. Milk would be good. Try that on for size. A little better, but I think we're Max. No, go away. He's like, did you drop something? Let me come and get this. No, it's not for you. Wipe that up really quick. Ugh, I swear, dude. It's freaking raw flour. You don't want that. All right. It's like he's trained to hear oops in the kitchen to be like, oh, what you got for me? What you got? Swear. Dogs, man. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do another tablespoon. This is better, but still not quite the right consistency that you want in a cookie. It's more like biscuit consistency. Whew. A little bit extra. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, all right, that's starting to look better. It's still a little bit crumbly, but I think I can work with this. But I just added like almost double the liquid that it asked for in the recipe. Almost double. If you don't count the egg, it was double. But of course, egg does add some moisture, so. This way. Let's also get out the cookie sheet. It says to do it on foil or parchment. I have these cool little baking mats, silicone baking mats that are non-stick, so a little bit of dust maybe. Wipe this down quickly. It's probably fine, but. All right. And now it says to make them into 1/2-inch balls. So let's see if I am able to form balls out of this. I think it'll be possible now. It looks a lot better. It's still a little crumbly, but I'll kind of mush it together and make it stay. See how it's kind of holding together? So I think we can work with this now. Obviously, I'm not like kneading it or anything. I'm trying to get the drier bits into the wetter bits. I would also like to point out that I had fewer, ooh, the light just flickered again. I'd like to point out that I also had fewer dry ingredients than I was supposed to have because of the Splenda. So there was less sugar in here. So it's like even more so it should have been enough, but okay, yeah, that's sticking together pretty good. It's a little bit of excess. Try to get that in there. Yeah, that's it, this is good. See, if I push it together now, it's forming one mass. So this will work. So we are going to form 1/2-inch balls, which I am not super great at judging size, but we will do our best. I think it might be a full-inch ball. Take a little bit off. The cookies for this are supposed to be pretty small, so that way you can eat multiple. And they're supposed to end up being like vanilla wafers at the end, which was the closest thing that I could find to a whole wheat fortune cookie. Whole wheat fortune cookies do not exist, dude. At least not recipes for them. But yeah, that's about right. It's maybe a little big, but whatever. We'll do them about that size. And then once we get these in the oven, then we will start working on the fried rice. A little bit more. think I'll probably do 4 to a column, or I guess 4 to a row from this angle. So these are just going to be nice vanilla cookies, which I love vanilla. It's such a sweet, lovely flavor. And they're going to be relatively low carb, which I'm all about. Come on, stick together. See if I can do 2 at once. How big is my dexterity? Pretty good. This one actually needs a little bit more to be the same size. You want them all to be of similar size so that they bake evenly. And I'm leaving some space. I don't know if you can see. I'm leaving a bit of space so that they can spread out, because they're probably going to spread out when they're baking. So you don't want them to be too close together where they will fuse. Do you have any favorite kinds of cookies? A lot of people really like chocolate chip. Chocolate chip are pretty good. But today I just wanted something simple. Something easy that I could make with ingredients I already had. Get the more crumbly bits in there too. Try to use every last bit of dough so nothing goes to waste. Roll up a little bit of that too. Get the stuff off of the spoon. Out. Okay, and then it says bake for 12 to 15 minutes. So we shall do that. for 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Starting now.
Okay, cookies are in the oven. We're gonna go ahead and wash hands. Just because we were touching raw egg dough, so it's good to wash hands. Okay. And these are dirty. These ones are not. Put these back. All right. Fried rice time. I'm gonna heat the pan up a bit. Gonna get my ingredients out. Soy sauce. Ideally, you want to do this with like a sesame oil or something like that. I only have olive oil, so I'm gonna make sure that it's not too hard to fry because I don't want to like burn the oil. Unfortunately, olive oil has a really low smoke point, so might not be as authentic as it could be. Got some rice, and I have some frozen peas and carrots that I actually got out of a mixed vegetable bag that I just I separated them out. And it's okay if they're still a little bit frozen because the pan will heat them up and they'll unfreeze. So, first thing is that the pan needs to heat up. I maybe should have turned the pan on beforehand, but that's okay. What else do I need? Oil. I'm gonna be, usually when you would do something like this, you would have like onions, scallions, garlic. I'm not gonna include any of that because I'm allergic to that. So we're just gonna be getting our flavors from soy sauce, and I've got a little bit of ground ginger in here somewhere. There. Yeah, a little bit of ground ginger. This calls for fresh ginger, but we're not fancy. We can just use a little bit of ground ginger. And we're probably just going to use 1 egg. This is like 4 eggs and 4 cups of rice. And it's like, I'm just 1 person. So I'm just going to make this much smaller. Yeah, so the first thing that we're going to do is add the vegetables. And then we're going to add, technically step 0 is you add the oil when the pan is a little warm. And then going to add the vegetables. And then going to add the ginger. And then going to add the rice. And then going to add the egg. And then soy sauce at the end. It's starting to get warm. Could be preheat a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and take the egg out also, just so that I have everything out. I like to take from symmetrical sides of the carton so that it's balanced, less likely to spill it. putting in a little glove of oil. Again, this isn't going to be like a huge, like, true fry where the oil's like, holy crap, sizzling, because I don't want to burn the oil. So I'm just going to spread it around. Let that heat up for a minute or so, and then we'll throw the veggies in. I'm starting to get hungry. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. You can check and see how our cookies are doing too. They're chilling. They look pretty much how they looked before. Okay. I'm going to sit the veggies here just to get them that much warmer, because I know as soon as they hit the pan, it's going to cool the pan down a little bit. Always be careful about doing this. I just realized I'm kind of showing off a bad habit. I test how hot the pan is by putting my hand over it. Be careful with that, because, you know, sometimes you can have like liquids or something splat out at you, so. Okay. So you might, well, you probably don't hear this, but there's a little bit of sizzle in the pan. It's probably not from the oil, it's probably from the fact that they're frozen, and it's probably the water. Hello, 00KY? How are you doing today? We're just starting on the fried rice. I just put some veggies in. We're gonna leave them in for a minute or two, and then going to add the ginger next. I was like, the rice. I was like, there's something else before the rice. A little bit of ginger. Just a tiny bit. This wants 1 tablespoon minced peeled fresh ginger. We don't have fresh, we have ground. So we're always gonna use less. And we're like quartering this recipe. So this is just gonna be like a pinch of ginger. I think I'm gonna get out another wooden spatula. Or actually no, I'll use my, I really like using my fish spatula for eggs, because it's got like non-stick silicone. It works really nice for eggs, and we'll be doing eggs eventually, so. Okay, yeah, these are already looking like they're starting to cook, the smaller pieces. So that's great, because they were frozen. We just dumped them in the pan and they're like, we're ready. So we're just gonna add a tiny bit of ginger. Just like a shake. Yeah. 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe even less. Just so that the oil picks up that flavor a little bit. And even just that little bit, you can smell it. It's got that nice gingery smell. Kind of aromatic. Okay, I'm gonna dump the rice in now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use all of it because it's just me. Just use that much. A little more, a little more. Break up the chunks. Yeah, that looks like a pretty decent ratio of rice to veggies. I'm trying to spread it out so that it can brown sort of evenly. Oh, split up. Whoop. Okay. That's probably good enough. So we'll let this sit for a minute. There's a tiny bit of rice left in here, but we're just going to save it for later. Alexa, stop. Now that is our cookies. So we're going to check on those. Those do not look done like at all. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes. It said 12 to 15, so. I really like the color it's got going with the peas and the carrots. It's gonna be tasty. Tasty, tasty. Okay. So we'll let that brown probably until the cookies are done again for another couple of minutes or so. Yeah, it says to cook the rice for 3 minutes in here too, so. Hi, Mesaflora. I am making some fried rice right now. The rice just went in. It's got some peas and carrots in there in the oil and ginger. And an egg's gonna go in there for a little bit. I'm also baking cookies. So when the cookie alarm goes off, I'll take those out. And then we should be ready to cook the egg. So everything should kind of be done around the same time. It's kind of exciting. How are you doing today? What you making for dinner today? I had some leftover rice, so I just thought fried rice. And it's vegetarian, which is good, you know. I like meat, and I definitely eat meat, but it's also good to have a break from meat sometimes, too. I think it's better for the planet, also. You made salmon? Ooh, that sounds really good. Was it like lemon salmon? A lot of the time when I think of salmon, I think of lemon and like dill. I was trying to think of what's the name of that fluffy herb. It's dill. Just black pepper and seared, that would be good. Yes, I am gonna put egg in the fried rice. I've got my egg here. It is waiting. Max, I already cleaned it up. There's nothing for you to get. Nice try though, mister. Nice try. Earlier I spilled a little bit of cookie dough and I was like, oops, and he immediately ran over and was like, what'd you spill? What'd you spill? It's like, dude, it's raw flour. Like, You're such a goofball. You're a goofball. Alexa, stop. Okay, so that should be the cookies being done. Where's my mitt? I'm not sure where my other mitt's at, so I'm going to use this one. Oh, it's over there. How did I get over here? You can tell I run a very organized kitchen. Deeply, deeply organized. Oh, Max, be careful. Max, go. Yeah, that looks a bit more done. Yeah, that's more solid, definitely. And look how pretty they are. Just little morsels of vanilla goodness. Okay, so that should be, yeah, this is sounding and smelling like they are pretty good. So now we're gonna go ahead and scramble the egg. I think I'm just gonna scramble it like right in the pan. Okay. Here we go. Oop, a little harder. There. Okay, there we go. Mix it up good. Ah, some rice got in it. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. Get the rice out of it. Trying to keep it mixed up. Dude, I probably could have put a second egg in this. That's okay though. God, it's like the pan is tilting that way. Alright. I'm feeling a little bit like I should put in a second egg. I don't know. I'm not a huge egg person, but I did want some protein, so. Okay, that's starting to look more done. Okay, now it says they're nearly set, so now we're gonna mix it all together. I think this was about the right amount of egg. Seeing it mixed together, it seems like it's the right proportion. And then it says now that it's all mixed together, let it cook for a minute more. And then we're gonna remove it from the skillet and add soy sauce. So I'll go get a plate. You like eggs, especially on a burger. A lot of people think that's weird. I mean, I could see that. I know Red Robin used to have they probably still do, like a fried egg on the burger. And, you know, it makes a sauce with the yolk. That would probably be pretty good. I don't think that's any weirder than like meatloaf. Meatloaf has egg in it. It's just mixed together so that you wouldn't know. Okay, I think I'm gonna say that this is done. So I'm gonna turn this off. And I'm gonna scoop it out of here. Unfortunately, this pan is a little bit big for me to sort of lift and scrape out, so we're gonna lift out this way. Actually, he's even a little bit much for me. I think we'll have enough for like a second portion for later. Like that's probably enough for me. I'm not a big eater. But I should still probably get it out of the pan just to so it stops cooking. So I'm gonna get a second plate. Or maybe a bowl even. Oh, I'll use the same bowl. This bowl had the frozen vegetables in it earlier, so I mean, same stuff. And that way I can save it for later. Ah, it's a little too wide though. A little too wide. Huh. Get in there. Yeah, this recipe was for like 6 people or something, I swear. I was just like, it's only me. So I'll leave the soy sauce off this part because I don't want to get it like soggy or something. I don't know if it gets soggy, but. And then for this, we'll mix in some soy sauce. That's just a taste. Get my fork and I mix it up a little bit. And look at that. Isn't that as pretty as a picture? It's got some good egg bits, carrot bits, peas, and brown rice. And then after dinner, I can have my yummy little vanilla cookies. I might just. That's pretty tasty. It's even got a little bit of a crunch on it. That's pretty good. It could use a few chicken bits. That's true. I kind of wanted to go vegetarian tonight, but you could definitely also put chicken in here for sure, and it would be really good. It's not a diabetic bracelet, but it is a medical alert bracelet, and I don't have diabetes, but I have hypoglycemia, which is kind of like diabetes, except I don't have to take insulin shots. So, like just super simplifying it, I have to have the same diet as a diabetic, which is why the whole grain and the Splenda and stuff like that. So, yep. This is really good. Ooh, the peas give it like a little bit of extra zing. I kind of like that. I hadn't made it with peas before, only with carrots. But the peas add something. They do. Yeah, it's real nice. You need to re-dye your pixie cut. You have really short hair. It probably have to be dyed a lot, huh? I know short hair needs like more upkeep. Meanwhile, I haven't had a haircut in like 2 years. Who has the time? Who has the money? more fun to have short hair. Well, I'm glad that you like it. I think short hair can be really cute a lot of times. I'm just standing here eating this because it's so good. Does anybody have any suggestions of things that they want me to cook in the future? I have never had Korean food, but I am willing to try anything. So I don't dislike Korean food. Mangchi. Okay. I might have to check that out. I also have a friend who lived in Korea for a little while. I wonder if she knows some stuff about it. She's adorable also. The adorableness helps. It helps. Well, it's about 5:30, so I think I'm gonna jump off now. But thanks everybody for watching, and let me know if you have any suggestions for things I should do in the future. Next time I stream is today's Sunday. Next time I stream is tomorrow, Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be streaming some Magic Arena if you like that. So until then, have a good night, everybody.